Imam Al-Junayd al-Baghdadi, Biography, Story, Teachings, and Unforgettable Quote. Biography of Imam Al-Junayd al-Baghdadi. Full name: Abu al-Qasim al-Junayd ibn Muhammad ibn al-Junayd al-Khazaz al-Kawariri al-Nihawandi al-Baghdadi. Birth: approximately 207 to 215 AH, 822 to 830 CE, Nihawand, Persia, modern-day Iran. Death: 298 AH, 910 CE, Baghdad, Iraq. Titles: Sayyid al-Taifa, Master of the Sufi Community; Taus al-Fuqara, Peacock of the Poor; Sheikh al-Mashayikh, Sheikh of the Sheikhs. Legacy: revered as the pioneer of sober Sufism, Imam Junayd was a towering figure in Islamic mysticism, blending spiritual depth with adherence to Islamic law. His teachings shaped the development of Sufism as a core dimension of Islam, influencing countless scholars and mystics. Imam Junayd was born in Nihawand, Persia, but raised in Baghdad, the intellectual and spiritual capital of the Abbasid Caliphate. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by his maternal uncle, Sari al-Sakati, a renowned Sufi and scholar. His father was a glass merchant, earning Junayd the epithet al-Kawariri, glass seller, and he occasionally sold fur, hence al-Khazaz, furrier. From age 7, Junayd displayed extraordinary intellectual and spiritual aptitude, studying Islamic jurisprudence, fiqh, under luminaries like Abu Thawr, a student of Imam Shafi, and possibly Sufyan al-Thawri. By age 20, he was issuing legal rulings, fatwas, in Abu Thawr's circle, showcasing his mastery of Shafi fiqh. Junayd's spiritual training came under Sari al-Sakati and other masters like al-Haris al-Muhasibi and Ma'ruf al-Karki. He became a disciple of Sari, whose asceticism and piety profoundly influenced him. He claimed to have been granted permission to guide others by Imams Ali al-Naqi and Hassan al-Askari, and during the minor occultation by the awaited Imam. His life in Baghdad placed him at the heart of the Islamic Golden Age, where he engaged with jurists, philosophers, poets, and theologians, earning widespread respect for his erudition and piety. As a Sufi master, Junayd taught publicly in Baghdad's Al-Mansur Mosque, a bold move when Sufism was often confined to private gatherings due to orthodox scrutiny. His sessions attracted diverse audiences, including jurists and philosophers, cementing his reputation as Sheikh al-Mashayikh. Despite facing accusations of heresy alongside other Sufis, Junayd's orthodoxy and scholarly rigor protected him. He famously distanced himself from his disciple Mansur al-Hallaj, whose ecstatic utterances led to his execution. As chief judge of Baghdad, Junayd signed Hallaj's warrant, writing, "Under Islamic law he is guilty. According to the inner reality, Allah knows," reflecting his balance of legal duty and spiritual insight. He lived a disciplined life, reportedly praying 400 rakahs daily while running a glass shop, a testament to his integration of worldly and spiritual duties. He passed away in 298 AH, 910 CE, in Baghdad, and his funeral drew 60,000 mourners. His tomb in Shunizia, near Sari al-Sakati's, remains a site of reverence. A defining story: the dream that launched his mission. At age 30, Junayd hesitated to teach publicly, deferring to his uncle Sari al-Sakati, saying, "While the master is there, it is not seemly for the disciple to preach." One Friday night, he dreamed of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who commanded, "Speak to the people." Awakening, Junayd shared the vision with Sari, who replied, "You wouldn't have believed us until you were told." The next morning, Junayd began teaching at the Al-Mansur Mosque, introducing Sufism to public discourse. His first sermon was so powerful that, according to tradition, 18 of the 40 attendees died and 22 fainted from the intensity of his words, infused with divine love, ishq. This event marked Junayd as a transformative figure, bridging Sufism and Islamic scholarship. Teachings of Imam Junayd al-Baghdadi. Junayd is celebrated as the architect of sober Sufism, emphasizing spiritual discipline, adherence to the Quran and Sunnah, and balance between inner mysticism and outer orthodoxy. His teachings countered the ecstatic tendencies of some Sufis, like al-Hallaj, ensuring Sufism's acceptance within mainstream Islam. Key concepts include Tawhid, divine unity. Tawhid was Junayd's central doctrine, viewing it as the heart of Sufism. He taught that true Tawhid involves annihilating the ego to realize God's oneness, not through philosophical debate, but experiential surrender. He said Tawhid is to distinguish the eternal from the ephemeral, emphasizing God's transcendence. Fana, annihilation of self. Junayd described Fana as the dissolution of the ego in God's presence, followed by Baqa, subsistence in God, where the self is renewed in divine awareness. He said the Sufi is like the earth, both the righteous and sinners walk upon it, highlighting humility and universal compassion. Mitzak, divine covenant. Junayd emphasized the primordial covenant between God and humanity, Quran 7:172, urging seekers to return to their original state of devotion. He saw this covenant as the foundation of spiritual striving. Sobriety in mysticism. Unlike ecstatic Sufis, Junayd advocated Sahu, sobriety, where mystics return from divine absorption to serve humanity. He said Sufism is not about the abundance of prayer and fasting, but about having a pure heart and being selfless. Adherence to the Quran and Sunnah. Junayd rooted Sufism in Islamic orthodoxy, stating, "Our knowledge is based on the Quran and the Sunnah. Whoever does not memorize the Quran, does not write the Hadith or study it, is not to be followed." He rejected isolationist Sufism, engaging actively with society. Moral transformation. Junayd saw Sufism as a path to purify morals, aligning with the Prophet's mission, "I was sent to perfect moral character." He taught that spiritual practices like hunger, detachment, and zikir transform the soul, preparing it for divine proximity. Inner jihad. Junayd emphasized the struggle against the nafs, ego. He interpreted Quran 29:6, saying, "Those who have striven against their desires and repented for our sake, we shall guide them to the ways of sincerity." Junayd's treatises, Rasail Junayd, though not compiled into a single book, were shared with disciples and preserved by later Sufis like Abu Nasr as-Sarraj. His writings, rich with Quranic exegesis and poetic nuance, explored the ineffable nature of divine experience while maintaining intellectual rigor. Unforgettable quote. "The water takes on the color of its cup, so does the heart reflect the truth it contains." This profound saying encapsulates Junayd's teaching on Tawhid and Fana. It suggests that the heart's capacity to perceive divine truth depends on its purity and readiness, much like water adopts the hue of its container. The quote invites seekers to purify their hearts to reflect God's light fully, a cornerstone of Junayd's sober mysticism. Legacy and impact. Junayd's integration of fiqh and tasawwuf made him a bridge between legalist and mystic traditions, earning him the title Sheikh of the Two Camps. His influence permeates Sufi orders like the Naqshbandi, Qadiriyya, and Moroccan tariqas, which trace their spiritual lineage to him. His tomb in Baghdad remains a pilgrimage site, and his teachings continue to guide seekers worldwide, emphasizing that true Sufism is the lived essence of Islam, rooted in love, humility, and adherence to the Prophet's way.